Hello everyone, the Honest Collector, back with another video here to give you the truth on the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Batman from Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice. This is the regular suit, no special things, no tactical suit. It is just the regular suit that we get in the BVS movie, which to me is one of the best, and I love this suit when I first saw it. And let's see if that follows up with a figure, but we're always going to look at the box first. Get the regular DC Multiverse box there, and since it is a movie, they love to stuff it with names. So you got a DC Multiverse, okay, we got DC Multiverse, Batman v Superman, Batman v Superman, and is it anywhere else? I think that's it. Alright, so taking a look at the accessories, onto the basic stuff first, we get your regular DC display stand that we get with all other figures. And then taking a look at the trading card here, I don't really like this one as much because it has no significance to Batman. Like, it says Batman, but it also shows Superman in here. And it's just like, I mean, if we did get another version of the Dawn of Justice Superman, we could just use the same picture, technically, and just with a different name. And I really would not like that. So it just kind of seems weird to me. I don't know. It's just a trading card, but at the same time, I do collect all of these. So, like, you know, it does bug me. But whatever. On the back, if you want to read it, you can. This is a different read-up than the others for Batman. But if you want to read that, you can pause it now. But taking a look at the accessories here, first off, you get 2 cinder block for batarangs. No, you get 2 batarangs here, which are super huge for some reason and like really thick. I don't like it. I don't get it, especially when we had more of an accurate design for the other one, the tactical suit. They could have just reused that one. These ones are way too thick, and it does bug me because it's like not even really able to fit neat in his hand. It just kind of shapes its way out of there, and it just kind of sucks. But it's not the biggest deal. I did do a posing video on this guy for shorts and everything, so if you want to go see that, you can. It's still, you know, he still holds the batarangs, as you can see in the videos, but it is a little more annoying to get in. Getting on to the, let's go to the grappling hook. You have the regular grappling hook here, which has no paint, no detail on it, which sucks. I really wish they could have done that for this. It's also way too big. It's not huge, but it's not the right size either, so yeah, it also is a little weird, but it's not the biggest deal to me. It's not, there's definitely been worse, but yeah, so it's not horrible, and I don't mind it as much, so it's fine. And going on to the hands, he has 2 trigger finger hands, which is actually appropriate for this Batman because he does use guns and he does kill people, and he does use guns to effing kill people. No, but yeah, so it's appropriate for this. It's fine, I guess. I wish we could have gotten, like, you know, actual open hands or something, or maybe like palm strike hands or something. I don't know. They did it for the Detective Comics. They could have done it for this one too. But anyway, now on to the regular punching hands, which thank God he comes with punching hands and 2 others, because I'm glad we're getting out of the era where you just have 1 of each. So yeah, good on McFarlane for that. So how is this figure as a figure? The head sculpt, first off, definitely a better job of looking like Ben Affleck than the other one. Is it spot on? No, not at all. I definitely think we have better likeness, but I can't fault them because I know why. It's like the likeness and everything, the likeness rights. They're not allowed to have it look like Ben Affleck, but for what they could do, I think they did a good enough job, and I definitely don't mind it. But as for the rest of the figure, like, the physique is wrong. Like, I think the chest should have been bigger. And it's funny because McFarlane really likes to do beefy figures, like that CW Flash, that Gotham Knights Nightwing, what's another one, like just like the Injustice 2 Flash. Like, he likes to make these figures stocky. The Dark Knight Returns figures are freaking swole, and it's like that's what this is supposed to be based off, and he already made that figure, but it doesn't translate as well, which, I mean, it's definitely still fine, and I like the look of it. It's just the physique is a little off, and the head is sitting too high. But if you fix that and make the peg shorter and have it rest lower, that also falls into another problem, which I'll get onto later. So this figure does come with its flaws, but gosh, does it look really good. People are saying this isn't the right color for it, and like, it kind of isn't in some shots, but I don't know, like, I'm okay with this because It still reminds me of that BVS suit, and it is still very accurate looking with all the texture detail and this really nice wash going throughout the whole thing, which suddenly ends on the back and looks absolutely horrible, man. Like, what the, like, and it's, you can't even excuse, oh, because it's gonna get covered by the cape. I could excuse that for a figure like this. He's in a pose right now, like a punching pose, but I could excuse that for a figure like this because majority of the time, you're not even gonna see the back that much. I mean, this figure doesn't have any back to, I look, there. No, nothing at all. I'm fine with that because that is rarely ever going to be seen by anybody, and then it's all on the front, which is fine. But when you take a figure that has a cloth cape and can do something as simple as this, it's just really weird, and it looks off, and it doesn't look right at all. Especially because, like, even if you do something like that, you just see where a huge line where it ends, and that just looks so weird to me. But it's like there's so much stuff about this figure that is really good as well. The utility belt is all gold, which I don't remember it being. Do I mind it? No, because I don't think it's too much of a change to where it's like, oh, that's bad. Like, they shouldn't have done that. I definitely like it. You can see it does have some good detailing and everything like that. Got some scratches on it. That's pretty cool. They definitely did a good job. The texture work is just amazing on this figure. On the bat symbol, it looks really great. The ears are cut off too much. They should have put the ears a little higher so it doesn't just look like one line. But the scratches and nicks on this looks awesome. The texture looks great. The cape itself, also, I cannot talk, also is a pretty good fabric. It's like that stretchy material, but not like cheap. It looks nice. It rests pretty well. You just kind of might have to position it a different way depending on how you're having him stand. So you can pull it forward a little more and have it be like that, or you can rest it back. So yeah, and it's so much better than how they did the Flash movie Batman. That was horrible. It looks like they gave him like an extra neck. It was horrible, but here they did a very, very good job. The cloth cape just adds so much premium feel to this figure, especially when you go on all the textures and everything like that. It is absolutely awesome. You got the points on the cape and everything, which is really great. Oh, why is it folding like that? There you go. You got the points on the cape and everything. Really good stuff. I think the paint is pretty good as well. The look of this figure is amazing. I really enjoy it, and the build doesn't bother me as much as it might other people, and this video is going to be very opinion based, as all reviews obviously are, but like a lot of this stuff I am going to say I don't mind, because I feel like when I get this figure in hand, you're not really gonna mind it. The only thing I'd mind really is this wash, but like I'm choosing to probably ignore it. I'm still gonna take points off in the final rating because that's unacceptable, and that's not something that should be done with other figures moving onward. But this, like, the gold not being painted, that does bug me. Like, the gold not being on the boots, the gauntlets at all, or anything does annoy me. Even a little dry brush of gold, because it's not even that much, would have been perfect. I would have been okay with that. And people say, oh, well, I like that it's not like that. Well, then you can customize it like that, because it's about accuracy, which I'm not coming at anybody that did say that they like it better black, because I haven't customized it yet, because I honestly think I might like it better black. But still, I would rather have to take it off than put it on, because overall for accuracy with this figure, I would rather have it on. And I do like it, you know, when, you know, it looks like the actual thing from the movie, which they've done a pretty good job on doing. But that part is kind of like, it's like Andrew Garfield Spider-Man having the yellow eyes. It's something a little more unique to him. Not a lot of Batmans had gold and stuff like that on the gauntlet specifically in those ways that he has. So I find that pretty cool, and I wish they would have done that, but they did not. And yeah, the wash is very apparent if you move the joints. Like, you could see that there, how it just ends and everything. I'm glad they did it on the elbow joints, but on the knees it's a little more apparent, which I don't know what else they could have done, so it's not a fault, just pointing it out. And I guess this is a good time to move into articulation. I think I got everything down about the look. There's just a lot I wanted to say on this figure because I really do enjoy it, but there are some stuff that just kind of tick me off. But like the stretch marks, the wrinkles on the suit look really freaking sick. I really like the way he did it, or the way they did it, because let's say on the Three Jokers Batman, it was really bad because it was a bunch of scrunching and wrinkling on the bottom half, and then on the top, I'm like actively getting the figure as I'm talking. And then on the top, there was like barely anything. Like there wasn't really any muscle definition, but on the bottom you had all the wrinkles, and on top you barely had any. This figure, they did it nicely and all around, like on the shoulders, on the bottom, and on the top of the chest and abdomen and everything, and on the legs. So I really like the realism look of that, while also keeping a comic book feel. And it feels very classic as well, which I find really awesome, and I do really enjoy. And then the bottom has that texture of the boots there. Unfortunately, like I said before, there is no paint. But other than that, I think I'm pretty done with the detail. So let's go on to the articulation, with the head having great range on that double ball peg and looking this high up, which is amazing. That's great for looking up into the sky or anything like that. So let's see looking down. Again, that is great for a very menacing pose. He looks pissed off right there, if you can see his eyes a little bit. That is awesome. Side to side has great tilt, which is amazing. You need that for a Batman figure like this, to have something like that, or anything, you know, some crouching poses. You turn the head like that. It's just so much free range with this neck joint. It is a little too high on the peg. Like the head does sit too high on the peg. It is a pretty long peg that I might try and shorten down and just fix that. But overall, I don't mind it as much as I thought I would, because if you put the shoulders back, you definitely still do give him that beefy, stocky kind of look. I guess it's just not as much as people would really want. So I might try and see how it looks, and if not, then I'll just change it back. But the articulation on the head joint is amazing, and I don't really have any complaints for it, honestly. And then with the arms here, you have those butterfly joints, which are sort of stuck, and be careful that you don't get this cape caught in the actual butterfly joints. I did that a little bit, and I was so scared because it was pulling on the cape. But if you put that far back, you can see how much range you get with these rotator cuffs, and that is awesome. I'll definitely take all that. The arm moves up this high, only up to 90, which kind of sucks, but you can obviously do some stuff where you turn it like that and do all that or whatever. So I'm not really minding it. After posing this figure, I know what you can and can't do, and like it still never, you know, annoyed me that I couldn't move it up that high or anything. But you have the ability to move the arm all the way around by just moving the cape out of the way a little bit and then remotioning it back. You have the double jointed elbows, which literally work perfectly, and you can even get more range if you really wanted to. It depends on what you crunch up first, which joint. And then you have the standard McFarlane wrist peg, which you can move any way you please. So that's awesome, and it is hidden pretty well. It looks great. It's not too bulbous and noticeable. Now with the diaphragm joint, my favorite part of this figure, because oh my goodness, this guy can crunch forward and get into some mean poses, man. And then the side to side is really good. Like, come on, look at this. I gotta commend McFarlane on this, because thank God. It seems like what they did was they kind of reversed the way they were doing it. Because let's take this Shazam figure here. You notice he does have pretty good torso articulation, but he still can't crunch. He can crunch back more than he can crunch forward. So what people would do is they would do this and crunch it like that and get more out of it, right? So it seems like, for whatever reason, McFarlane gave us more back crunch than forward. So it seems like they just kind of said, what if we just listened to them and did it the right way? So you do see the smallest bit of gappage, but come on, you shouldn't complain about that. And you get a lot of crunching forward. Just in this top joint itself, you're getting the same amount as both joints with this. And then you push it down a little further, and you get more. And don't even get me started on moving the legs up, because then you get in a really good crouching pose where this is pretty close to each other, and that's what I like. Again, I did a posing session, like a posing video on YouTube Shorts that you can go watch right now, and you can see how posable this figure is and how much fun I had with it. Because this is the good side, man. Like, where the looks fail, the articulation absolutely just comes in clutch. You got double jointed knees, which work well, and the proportioning is a bit weird. It does go to his back, but it's definitely better than others, in my opinion. You have absolutely zero thigh swivel, which I'm definitely going to customize and cut some of the sculpted butt cheek off of Batman there. He has the the splits, which he can do all the way, which is amazing. And then he has the ankle, which moves this far down, which is pretty good. That high up, which is, again, pretty good. I'm satisfied with that. Then you got the ankle pivot, and you have the rotation. So you also have the toe articulation, which is a little nubby and a little small, but it still does work for some poses. And I honestly, it's always a welcome. So yeah, man, like the articulation, I cannot be disappointed. Like if there was one thing, it would just have to be the thigh swivel. And we tried getting McFarlane to master the diaphragm joint, and I think if they keep working it like this, they already did. Like this is awesome, and I'm super satisfied with that. Now the last thing they have to do before they really get put into, like, honestly, where I would buy pretty much almost every figure if they kept it this quality, is thigh rotation. Stop putting such a huge scope on the butt cheek because it doesn't really matter, because we're gonna have this piece. If you just cut it off a little bit, like right there, we might have a little gappage, but if they do it right, we won't really need that sculpted part there, and we can actually rotate these thighs here. So that's my only thing, and it's not even a complaint, it's just, you know, criticism for McFarlane to continue. And I think the articulation on this, they have improved so much, and they did such a good job with this. So yeah, and then the look of it too is still very good. So when you have a dope looking Batman be able to pose like this, and you're remembering that you only got it for like $22, I gotta commend them on this, because this is where the figure brings me so much, like, yeah, like this is awesome, buy this, like this is freaking sick. I do think you can still get it at some places. I got this online at Walmart. I paid $30 because I don't know, Walmart's weird, but it is originally $20, and even the price I paid $30, I am still satisfied, man. Like there are some things that do piss me off, but it's not like the retail is $30. It was originally $20. So the only thing I'm annoyed with is no wash. And I'm looking at this as the perspective that I don't customize my figures, even though I do. I always do that. Even though I do, I just say I don't customize my figures. If I were a collector who didn't, an average collector, would I be upset with this? Yes. I would be upset that there is no wash on the back, so it looks weird if he's in a pose or something like that, where you want the cape to just kind of droop one way or another or whatever like that or something. You do you. I would be mad. So that is upsetting to me, but all this other stuff just really makes up for it, man. The way the cape hangs, the way the articulation is, the way the rest of the figure looks, it's awesome, dude. I really, really do enjoy it. So let's get on to the measurement here, and then let's get into my favorite part, the comparison. So you could see he's standing kind of tall. Actually, no. Yeah, no, he's standing a little over the 7-inch mark. I'd say right to the top of the head, just a little bit. And apparently, some of the other figures, he's pretty short. So I do want to see what that looks like. And let's, just because I have him right here, first figure we're going to compare him to is the Shazam from The Fury of the Gods. And I love this figure. It looks really great. So seeing these two next to each other, it also really makes me wonder, what would Shazam look like with a cloth cape like this? So the comparison, it's not bad. I definitely think it's fine in size, right? Yeah, I think so. I honestly don't mind it. So where I would really get kind of iffy on is how he stands next to the other DC EU figures, like Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, The Flash, and everything. And luckily, I have those figures. I don't have the Aquaman, but let's see how he stands next to the Superman, which I think I said it before, they need to redo this figure, and I will keep on saying it until they do in these videos that I bring him in. He is just too damn tall, man. And also coupled with Wonder Woman, like she's also really tall. And this is her bow-legged, like her legs aren't even shaped the correct way for her to stand fully up like that. So like for them to kind of be splayed out and still tower over this Batman, kind of sucks. Like look at that, this is Wonder Woman kind of lopsided, and he is still really short. So that, you know, I want my Batman to look big, and he is supposed to be big, but Superman can technically just kiss him on the forehead right now. It does bug me, and it does bother me, and I do think they need to just completely trash this and redo it. I only love this figure because I love Henry Cavill. I loved his Superman. Well, I love Henry Cavill as Superman, and I love the suit. Other than that, redo this, guys. But yeah, comparing him next to the Flash from the Snyder Cut here. Let's see how he stands. And he is tall against Batman, which is not accurate. This guy is also just way too tall, man. Putting him next to the Blue Beetle figure from the James Gunn universe, I'd say it's a little... He's still too tall. I mean, he's in his 20s, right? It's not like he's a teenager. Okay, so getting him properly up next to Batman, it's not that bad. He's still kind of short. I think it's okay. Especially with some trick of the camera stuff. I don't think it's that bad at all. Now, putting him next to the current Flash, or the latest Ezra Miller suit figure. I don't know what that sentence was. I want to see how this is so bad. Because I don't have that Flash movie Batman. I don't think I'm ever going to get it. I cannot stand figures on here because... Okay. Let's see that. That's not bad, right? I don't think so. I wouldn't say so. He's still pretty short. He's like Blue Beetle's height, honestly. I don't mind it. I do wish he was a little taller. But now this makes me want to compare him next to some Marvel Legends figures to see how he is against someone like Iron Man. But for right now, I do have Deathstroke. So let's put him here and see what could have been. Yeah, I'm liking that. These two being basically the same height. I do like that. Batman's a little shorter. Is he? No, I'd say they're about the same height. I do like that. I kind of do see where people are coming from with the whole he's supposed to be bigger thing, but I don't mind it like this. I think it's decent. Seeing how he stands next to the Dark Knight Returns Batman, which is what he's based off, and the Injustice 2 Superman, I think he scales really well with the Injustice 2 Superman. These two, I feel like, could work. Maybe just because I'm so used to seeing the BVS Batman next to a darker colored suit Superman. I think this could work. It's just, these two colors really do clash, but that's kind of really what I like about it. So these two next to each other actually does look pretty cool in my opinion. I also think that the Superman just fits well with a lot of these figures. And the Dark Knight Returns Batman, which is what this guy's based off of, you could see he's supposed to be huge. The symbols look similar. The belt, the way it's designed looks similar. Everything down to like the way the boots are shaped and the glove pieces, and the short ears and all. Like, you could definitely tell the inspiration. I just think McFarlane should have made it a little wider in the chest, and they would have been good. And like a little bit taller, not too tall, but I like he's short enough to where I could still kind of handle it. Some people are going to get pissed, and I kind of understand. Maybe just because I don't have him next to the entire league. That's probably why. But if anything, it's more this figure's fault, or like a figure like this. Because Flash, before this BVS Batman was released, this Flash was always put as too tall. And McFarlane was always known for the really bad scaling when the tactical suit was released and he was like being towered over by the Flash. So I don't think it's this BVS Batman's figure's fault. I think it's just who the people compare him next to, and what McFarlane made in the past that falls in line with this same universe. I think if anything, they did kind of find their scaling a little more, because he is in line with other figures, more recent figures like the Blue Beetle, the Flash movie Flash, the Shazam, the Injustice Superman, and everything. We could put the Dark Knight Returns Superman with this whack Henry Cavill head there and see how that looks, because I know this Superman's gonna tower over him. Does he? Yeah, wow. He towers over Batman. But I mean, this figure towers over a lot of other figures, and this isn't even a proper head sculpt. Wow, man, that's crazy. But yeah, so then it's so funny because these two, he's taller than that Batman, but these two look like they go together. I don't know. It's a little weird, but I don't think it's 100% on the Batman. Like, I really do think there are some other figures that are just really whack out of scale, and comparing him next to the power suit Lex Luthor, I didn't mean to change my light there. I think that works. His head is tilted down. I think this works pretty well. I don't mind that at all. and I do like that. I could kind of see it working. I think just I'm so used to seeing this in a dark, light with everything in the night and no saturation to anything and all that. I think this could work, just takes some getting used to. And then putting him next to an interesting one here. Let's put him next to the Carrie Kelly Robin from the Dark Knight Returns wave. Let's see him, or her, next to him. I mean, yeah, she's supposed to be pretty small, and I think that actually works pretty well, which is cool. I don't know, I haven't seen these figures next to each other in a long time. I haven't really pulled the Carrie Kelly Robin or Dark Knight Returns Batman. But yeah, I think this could, if you just change the head sculpt and probably make it a different Robin, the body could definitely work. If you have the Dick Grayson Robin, then I think that could work with this as before the Joker happened. And just because I put him next to the other figures, let's do a why not and put him next to the Dark Knight Returns Joker here. This figure is trash. Oh my goodness. I give it like a 4 out of 10 at best. But seeing him next to there, I keep changing my light. He's pretty short next to him, which I do really like. Thank God, because if Joker towered over Batman as well, I would honestly start complaining. But yeah, I think this is definitely good. It's just obviously the Joker has more of a comic booky, cartoony look and like these big ass hands. And the Batman, the BVS Batman obviously is more realistic. But yeah, I think we should just put him next to some other DCU figures. So here the BVS Batman stands next to the, I believe this is the Death Metal Batman. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. So here he is standing next to him, which I honestly at first thought that the head sculpt change would actually look kind of cool. And then I realized that those eyebrows, nah. And the head is way too small. Then you have him next to the DCEU Black Adam here. And for some random reason, I decided to do this custom where I made this Robin with a cape here. So I guess if you ever wanted to see what this Red Robin figure looked like next to Batman, you could, just for like that 0.2% of people. And here he stands next to the DC vs. Vampires Joker for whatever reason, if you wanted to put those two together. And for a why not, here he is next to the Reverse Flash if you wanted to pretend like this Batman in a universe actually worked. Now here he is next to some Marvel Legends. Here he is next to the Mark 85 Iron Man and the Mark III Iron Man from the Infinity Saga. I completely forgot to put him next to this Mr. Freeze, but in case you ever wanted to do that, because I think it's a cool idea, here he is next to him. And getting him next to another suited body. Yeah, here he is next to the Hammerhead and Kingpin from the Hawkeye Disney Plus wave. Here he stands next to the number 195 Mafex Spider-Man and the Retro Sandman. And here he stands next to the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and the Obadiah Stane and Ironmonger 2-pack, Obadiah Stane. And finally, here he stands next to the Marvel Legends Stan Lee. So what are my thoughts on this figure? Gosh, is this thing amazing. I honestly love so much about it, and they do give you a lot of stuff here. For the $20 price point, they give you the 2 batarangs, the 4 hands, you got the grappling hook and everything, and this freaking looks insane. The texture, the detail, all that stuff on this figure. The articulation is really good, what they got going on here. You can see I got Hammerhead shooting at him here as he's grabbing. These are just supposed to be some random guys. Grabbing some other one and ready to just absolutely knock these two out. This looks insane. This is probably the most diverse, versatile pose I've ever been able to get a McFarlane figure in. And there's others. There's so many others that you can get him into. There's others that I have gotten him into. If you want to check out that short of the posing video with this Batman, like I said, I uploaded it not that long ago from the time of this recording. But yeah, this figure is freaking insane, man. It is awesome. The cloth cape and everything, it just looks awesome. McFarlane's really pushing the boundaries here of how much they can really pack into a $20 figure. And I think that this is insane. They're doing such a great job. And if they keep releasing figures like this, I will 100% keep supporting them, picking them up. This is awesome. Now, I'm going to give this figure a 9 out of 10. And honestly, if we had a little more thigh swivel and if we had more paint, this figure would have easily have been a 10. I would have been able to ignore the peg and, not the perfect physique just because we got like, we have really good articulation. I think people are forgetting that here. Like, they've improved. And if they just added that thigh swivel and the brushing on the back, that would have set me off with this figure. So yeah, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10, because this figure, the fun factor is through the roof. I haven't put it down since. And honestly, this figure is just very enjoyable to just even look at and mess around with, especially when you got some others to pose with it too, as you could see here. So this figure is just a W, man, and I really enjoy it. So it is going to get that 9 out of 10 rating. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, because this figure is pretty controversial. Some people really love it, some people hate it, some people are kind of in the middle. I honestly love it, man. This thing is awesome, and if they keep releasing more like this, like I said, I will keep buying them. But yeah, man, so that's gonna be it. And if you're new, please subscribe and turn notifications on. If you've enjoyed, please give this video a like and comment what you thought about this figure and the review in the comment section below. That is going to be it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget, spread love, peace, unity, and be greater together. See you all in the next one with the truth on the next figure. Bye.